Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, woman slain in double murder 2 months after son killed. A mother who reportedly witnessed her son's murder along Barbican Road in St. Andrew some 2 months ago was the target of a deadly attack that claimed her life, along with a man at the same location yesterday. Ashley Makery, who reportedly knew she was marked for death, was one of 3 people who were shot around 1 p.m. yesterday by men traveling on a motorcycle. Investigators theorize that yesterday's double shooting and murder was an act of reprisal at play because of another murder that occurred in the St. Andrew South Police Division at a school last month. The news reported then that 36-year-old Deshaun Newry, a taxi operator of a Barbican Road address, was killed on November 15 when he dropped off a child at the entrance of Rosso Primary School on Ricketts Avenue. Makery was very vocal about her son's killing, hid out at the killers, and then the murder at the school took place. The deceased in that incident has ties to the community, and so she knew she was under the microscope. She was reluctant to leave the space, saying it was her community and she won't leave, and always hung out there, a senior investigator with the knowledge of the probe told the news. Makery's son is reportedly to be buried on Sunday. A man listed this week in the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Wanted Wednesday campaign is being sought for the murder of her son. He is Demar Bully Beef Greenham, who is said to frequent Barbican Road. The man killed in yesterday's fatal shooting, who was said to be a customer, remained unidentified up to last night. The area where the double murder occurred is known as Andrews Pen. That community has been impacted by gang violence for years, and a makeshift police post was set up at the entrance. I did 3 years there on static duty. That blue shop, we had to be there 24/7. It was our unofficial post. Hurricane, sun, earthquake, anything at all, we had to be in it to quell gang violence, a policeman told the news. The news understands that enhanced security measures are expected to be deployed to the area to curtail any further fallout. The St. Andrew North Police Division has recorded a 9% increase in murders and a 3% increase in shootings year-on-year as of November 30. Meanwhile, Makery's murder follows a string of homicides in Jamaica, including female victims, during the 16-day observance of awareness of violence against the women, and highlighting the importance of efforts to prevent such a violence. The United Nations International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against the Women is observed annually across the globe, beginning on November 25. The last 5 years saw crime scene investigators probing murders of 619 women, as Jamaica averaged 124 such homicides each year from 2019 to 2023, according to data published by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica. Anxious Bobby Lane angered over bald-head killing. The small community of Bobby Lane in St. Catherine was yesterday thrust into turmoil following the controversial killing of Vernon Campbell, popularly known as a bald head. Campbell's grieving mother described her son as a peaceful football-loving young man who was targeted and killed in cold blood by the police. According to the bereaved mother, Campbell and others were celebrating recent football victories on Bobby Lane when tragedy struck. Them in the lane a drink and a buy Kentucky and eat when police come in at the lane and put everybody against the wall. He and his 2 brothers, and then they draw him round a corner and give him pure headshot, she recounted tearfully. Ballhead not supposed to dead so. I can put my head on the block for him. Him love football, him a girl's man and a footballer. Ballhead no deal with gun, she added, weeping over her son's untimely death. The police reported a starkly different version of events. According to a statement from law enforcement, Campbell was acting suspiciously when approached during a routine patrol. They alleged that Campbell drew a firearm and fired at officers, prompting them to return fire. He succumbed to his injuries while being treated at the hospital. However, Campbell's death has ignited outrage among residents who vehemently disputed the police's account. Protesters blocked roads with burning debris demanding justice and transparency in the investigation. Senior Superintendent of Police Hope Nicholson, Commanding Officer for the St. Catherine North Police Division, and the St. Catherine Central Member of Parliament, Andrew Wheatley, intervened to de-escalate tensions. Nicholas assured the residents that a thorough investigation involving the Independent Commission of Investigations and the police internal investigators was underway. I came here at the request of the residents, and I assured them that the necessary investigations will be carried out, Nicholson stated. I also made it clear to them that blocking the road is against the law, and we do not want that kind of police-instant confrontation. Nicholson warned the residents that any further breaches of the law would lead to arrest, but encouraged the lawful protest and the cooperation with investigators. Wheatley, who arrived early at the scene, expressed their condolences to the community and called for cooperation with the investigative process. The community is very much anxious and saddened by the killing of Vernon Campbell. I knew Vernon for almost 20 years, and normally I would not find myself out here when there is a shooting incident involving the police, Wheatley said. Unless I am seriously mistaken, I don't know him to live a life of crime, and this is why the community is so anxious, he added. Wheatley appealed for calm and urged the residents to provide any information to Indicom and the police investigators to ensure the truth is uncovered. UWI Mona resumes normal operations following water disruption. Normal operations have been restored at the University of the West Indies Mona on Thursday after the institution's primary and independent water supply system developed challenges on Tuesday, resulting in the suspension of some services. Campus Registrar Dr. Donovan Stanberry told the news that the National Water Commission has mobilized its standby water supply service to ensure the institution's operations continue without a major disruption.
That happened late sometime last evening. The connection has been made, however, the pressure is not sufficient to give us the kind of supply we would have had when our own pumps are working. Added to what NWC is giving us, we have been able to continue with our trucking in our priority areas, and that was sufficient for us to have normal operation restored today. Our priority continues to be examinations, which are now in progress, and until we are fully back on our system, examination will remain a priority. Fortuitously, this has happened during the examination time when classes are completed and we don't have that level of traffic on the campus. The other good thing is that we are going into the weekend when water supply demand is drastically reduced on the campus. We are hoping that by next week our own supply will be back to normal and we accord priority to our more sensitive areas like the halls of residence and of course the examination venues.
NWA says resumption of road patching dependent on favorable weather. The National Works Agency is scheduled to resume road patching on Friday, but NWA Communication Manager Stephen Shaw is cautioning that the exercise is dependent on improved weather conditions.
We have been patching, Emily, but the kind of full-scale activities that we would have wanted to launch, we have not been able to do so. And so we did say that we would recommence our activities because we started some on Friday, which is tomorrow. That, though, is subject to the weather being favorable. We will not go out into areas to patch where the weather is unfavorable because we are going to be back at zero too soon thereafter. And the material has to be put down at a certain temperature. And if it is too cold, it is not going to bond, it is not going to be good, and the complaints will only continue. So we are being very careful in executing this aspect of the REACH program, and so we are tentatively set to go out tomorrow, but we will assess the situation over the next few hours, and if it is that we are going to be having rain, then we are going to be putting a hold on that.
Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.